Yeah, I think they also do well till now. Obviously, they are also like I don't want to say new, but they are back. They had a difficult away game. We had the same. Only we play away again. So yeah, I think it's going to be a difficult game again. I think the circumstances are a little bit better. If I saw the pitch, for example, last week. So I think that must suit us a little bit better. But in the end of the day, we have to cope with it, and we need to travel again. So on the other side, I'm also looking forward to because it's a new experience, and yeah, it's also good for us.
La situación de los lesionados, ¿recuperas algún jugador? Por ejemplo, Jeremy de León podrá estar. No sé si de los nuevos, Mamadou Traoré, Julio Gracia, Castañer, si alguno de ellos puede jugar este fin de semana.
Yeah, the injuries from last week and how it is now.
Yes,
something like that.
Who can play?
Yeah. So Castañer and Traoré, they are not available. They need to do more work to get back fit. They came in later also, like they missed out totally pre-season. Jeremy, today he trained for a part with the first team. We have to make tomorrow morning a decision about it before we travel. It's a little bit unusual, but because we travel first and then we train, but we have to wait how his ankle will react on this night. You understand what I mean? Like in the oversleeping. And Gracia, he's I think he's for the first time in the squad, so his shoulder reacts very good, and he will travel tomorrow, so that's good for us. So everybody comes back in. So yeah, the only thing is what I can already mention is that Alberto is out.
Es verdad que la primera parte le ha costado tal vez al Castellón mostrar ese juego tan ambicioso que hemos visto en las primeras jornadas. ¿Te preocupa? ¿Crees que de algún modo los rivales nos conocen un poco mejor y por eso nos ponen en más problemas y dificultades?
Of course, everybody knows each other, how we play and how we can play. The only thing is we have to do some things just better. For example, the last game we tried to build up, but we also tried to mix it up. But I think a lot of times it was not like that we had from our first building up problems, but it was more a little bit higher on the pitch. We lost the ball too fast, and yeah, sometimes it happens when an opponent the first 45-60 minutes is always difficult to come into a game, and sometimes you have to change a little bit the plan. But on the other side, we know what we want to do, and there are more IDs than only one ID. So even during the game, you can change things, and the players are also allowed to be free to make those decisions.
Hi. Obviously, Recreativo, they've had a kind of interesting start to the season. They've had 3 0-0 draws or 3 0 draws, and they've only conceded 1 goal. Do you think it's going to be a particularly high-scoring game the weekend? And how do you feel about the defensive setup, and if they're going to be a difficult team to play, certainly defensively, because they've conceded so little at the start of the season?
Yeah, of course we look at them how to attack them, and it is a difficult team to play against. But yeah, we have to try to find a way how to attack them and to get scoring chances. In the end, they can play in a 4-2-3, they can play in a 5-4-1, they can play in a 5-3-2, or whatever you can name it. In the end of the day, it is how we do it on the ball, and that's already I tried to explain in the question from Javier. I say his name good?
Sí, Javier.
There is always a plan A, and then you can say if plan A is working, then you go into halftime, and then you think we're gonna go further with plan A, but we have to do it better, or we go with a different plan, or maybe 3 you make some subs. So you always think about the game to try to change it, and then sometimes you have to make those decisions, and those decisions always, after the game it's always easy to say if it was a good decision or not. But it is the same now. But they also have an ID to play against us, so we also have to cope with that. We also have to think about that. But in the end of the day, I like to look at my own team, and we have to do. In a lot of things we do already very well. In a lot of things we have to do a lot better. But like I say, like how I see and grow the team. For example, this week, how we came back from travel. We travel for 9 hours back with the bus. We come home, we have a day off, and then how the players come in the next day, how they trained the last 2 days. For me, it was really a high standard, and I'm very happy in that development also.
Edu?
Hi, good afternoon. Talking about the trips, you have had 2 long trips until Melilla and Tequera. Now this weekend have another long trip. You are going by train this time. I suppose it's important, no, for the players to face the match in better conditions.
Yes, it's always important, but you always have to see if there are what type of travel you do. If you do it by plane or by bus or by train, and also you have to look at other things. If it is possible, if there are flights, if there is a train, if the bus is probably always there. So yeah, we try to make the right choices. We also have to look at the budget. It's a different year also with away games. We have a few they are further. Even I have to say it good. In 3 weeks, we have another far away game, or is it 3 weeks. So we have another far away game. So yeah, all those things we think about, and we try to make the right decisions. And in the end of the day, we have to look at ourselves to make those decisions right. Comparing with the budget what we have to use for the travel. But in the end of the day, I always say the other teams, they always have the same problem. So we just have to cope with it. And I'm not going to say you have to enjoy the long travel, but you have to see it as a new thing. And we already spoke also with the team. We have to try to get more points in away games this season. And that is also like a target what we want to have.
Vimos en Antequera a Mollita, que hizo un muy buen partido, una muy buena segunda parte en sus primeros minutos. ¿Te gustó? ¿Crees que tendría opciones reales de incluso ser titular en Huelva?
Yes, he's an option. I heard what he said, I think.
Yeah,
so,
if he
did. He played well the second half, and he did some good things. Yes, he's an option. We think about it. We trained also with him, also in the first 11 today. So and tomorrow we will make the decision. So I can hide and say he's not an option, but he did well. We know he did well in pre-season. It was a hard time for him because you come at a new club, you are 3 games suspended. So also he had like a little bit of a spell that the trainings and that sort of things he didn't do so well, but that is normal because you know already that you're not going to start in the first 3 matches, and then you probably have to wait for a chance. Now he came on, he did well, and I also said to him, give yourself also the time. You know, it's the season is long. There will come moments that you will play, and if you play from the start and you don't play so well, of course I hope he plays well and everybody will play well. But that's also not a big point because for him it's a little bit different situation. And we also will have that with Castanier. We will have that with Traoré. We have it also with Greunig. He came also later into the squad. So there are all normal things, and I have to be also patient with them. And sometimes it's maybe difficult for a coach, but that is what I have to do. I have to help the players. And for example, what you say about Mojita, he did very well the second half. And we will see. But he's an option.
¿Alguna pregunta más?
Okay, I'll just last one from me, and maybe not such a football related question, but with all the travel time, how do you like to spend it yourself? Are you still like very much looking at football stuff and watching video, or are you trying to, I don't know, work on your Spanish or whatever it may be?
Trying to Duolingo. I try to crash Duolingo with Spanish. We look a lot football, and Paco and Dennis always try to give the match straight away back, that we can watch the match back. It's different. So because it's like longer trips, but in the end of the day, the most things what we do is with the football. We talk with each other. We watch clips. We watch maybe I watch some training sessions or already work. I think for the player it's a little bit different than for the coach. The coach can work a lot on the bus, so there's no excuse to say I can't work in a bus. We can. So most of the time we spend on working, and if I don't work, I try to do a little bit Duolingo on with my Spanish. But yeah, the most important thing is, by the way, hopefully next week we start lessons again with Spanish, because it's difficult to get lessons to start after the month of August. So no, it's quite easy, just football most of the time.
La última, Edu.
Yes, I want to ask you about Miguel, because he's a player who hasn't scored a big number of goals in his career, but he has a very good rate this season with 4 goals in 4 matches. So I would like to know if you are surprised by him.
To be fair, you have to take this not in a negative way, but before I came here I didn't know him, so I don't really know a lot about him. Then I started to really work with him. Of course I watched some games back where he played before. He's a very quiet type. You don't hear him, he doesn't speak a lot. He's just a very good team player, and now he also appears a lot of times on the good plays on the pitch. So I think he gets rewarded a lot for his work rate and for his good attitude as a team player. He's a player, what I already felt a little bit from the start, he would probably fit good in the way how I want to play. Until now, you also see that there was of course a game that he was not available. But he's just a very hard-working type, and I'm very happy with him, and I'm pleased for him, because in the end of the day I know a lot of people look at scoring on goals for a striker, but for me there is also a lot more around scoring goals, and he's doing now both, so that's very important.